The Shadows of Biafra Prologue, 1967. The war had begun. On May 30, 1967, the southeastern region of Nigeria, dominated by the Igbo people, declared itself the Independent Republic of Biafra. The Nigerian government refused to let the region go, and soon, the land was drenched in blood. What started as a political crisis had become a brutal war. For young men like Chidi, the war was supposed to be about freedom. He was just 19 when he joined the Biafran army, full of dreams of heroism. But war does not make heroes. It only makes the dead. Chidi and his fellow soldiers would soon learn that some things in war were worse than death. The Curse of Umuahia, 1968. By early 1968, the Nigerian forces had advanced into Biafra, capturing town after town. The Biafran soldiers, hungry and desperate, retreated deeper into the forest. One night, Chidi's unit arrived at an abandoned village near Umuahia. The houses stood empty, doors creaking in the wind, food still sitting in pots as if the villagers had vanished in an instant. "This land is cursed," whispered an older soldier. Chidi scoffed. "Cursed? It's war. People flee." He shook his head. They did not flee. They were taken. That night, as Chidi lay on the cold ground, he heard something, soft, sorrowful weeping carried by the wind. He sat up, heart pounding. From the trees, figures emerged. They stood in the moonlight, unmoving. Their eyes were hollow, their faces twisted in agony. Some bore wounds, gunshots, machete slashes, burns, but they did not bleed. These were not the living. "These are the villagers," he whispered. "The ones they massacred." Chidi gripped his rifle, but what use was a weapon against the dead? The spirits did not attack. They only watched, judged. Morning came, and 3 soldiers were missing. Their weapons lay on the ground, their footprints leading into the forest, where they simply disappeared. No one spoke of them again. The Haunted Battlefield, 1969. The war dragged on into its second year. Starvation ravaged Biafra. The Nigerian forces closed in. Chidi's unit, now reduced and weary, stumbled onto an old battlefield near Owerri. It was a place where thousands had fought and died. Their bones lay scattered in the dirt, untouched by time. A strange silence hung over the field. Even the wind dared not pass through. Then the sound came. Marching. Steady, rhythmic footsteps echoed across the battlefield. Chidi turned sharply, gripping his rifle. His heart pounded. The dead were marching. Figures moved through the mist, their bodies skeletal, their uniforms tattered. They carried rifles that had long since rusted, their eyes burning like dying embers. The forgotten soldiers of both sides, forever reliving their final moments. One of Chidi's men collapsed, screaming. Another turned to run but fell without a sound, as if unseen hands had seized him. The rest fled. But Chidi knew they would never truly escape. Somewhere in the wind, the dead still marched. The cursed village, the late 1969. The war was nearing its end. Biafra was crumbling. Chidi's unit, now barely a handful of men, stumbled into a village untouched by war. Smoke curled from chimneys. Food sat waiting. But the streets were empty. They left in a hurry, murmured. That night, the village came alive, not with the living, but with the dead. The houses whispered. Shadows moved behind windows. And in the village square stood a woman in white. Chidi stepped forward, his hands shaking. "Who are you?" The woman turned. Her face was pale, her eyes black voids. "We are the forgotten," she whispered. And then the screaming began. The soldiers fell, one by one, clutching their heads. Visions filled their minds, every life they had taken, every innocent caught in the crossfire, every child who had starved. Their sins crushed them. Some laughed madly before dropping dead. Others ran into the night, never to be seen again. Chidi fell to his knees. The woman reached out, cold fingers brushing his forehead. "The war does not end," she whispered. And then the village was gone. The houses, the food, The people, it had never been there. Only ruins remained. Chidi was the only survivor. The madness of war, 1970 and beyond. On January 15, 1970, Biafra surrendered. The war was over. But for Chidi, it never truly ended. Years later, he was found wandering the forest of Umuahia, speaking to the air, calling out names no one remembered. His uniform was in tatters, his eyes vacant. "The dead walk here," he whispered. They never left. At night, the villagers swore they could hear voices in the wind, the voices of those lost to war, crying out for justice. The war had ended. But its ghost would never rest. Hit the subscribe button for more Nigerian history.